Hey everyone, so today we're reviewing the debut album of the new band, The Last Dinner Party. The band came out of nowhere with this album, Prelude to Ecstasy. The all-woman indie rock band gave us an album mixing rock, folk, jazz in certain parts, and it mixes it well with this regal pop-y kind of atmosphere in the opening eponymous track and throughout Caesar on the TV screen. I'm a big fan of the vocalist Abigail Morris, who manages to mix emotional falsetto vocals with these belt-like catchy popera music that kind of reminds me of Adele. And then certain parts it does also remind me of Kate Bush. And the beat and flow has this kind of ABBA, like early ABBA kind of feel to it, and especially in songs like Nothing Matters. I like the band's ability to make this high polished and good produced album with catchy songs and still manages to reference these like struggles that just people in general go through in songs like Burn Alive and The Feminine Urge. It just touches upon them super well, and I'm a big fan of that whenever songs do it, and I think they do this well. The singles in the album were consistently like decent to good. Some of them obviously better than others, but none of them were horrible. But they were all kind of fairly one note at times. And the big problem I had was the other songs on it that weren't the singles just weren't as good or near as good of it. So it was kind of a letdown when the album came out. And the other thing I had was the opening song, Prelude to Ecstasy. It is not a bad song. I'm kind of a fan of the orchestral sound it has. It's not overly long, and it does have like the lack of vocals, but it is a very powerful, just instrumental and orchestral sound. But it doesn't transition well into the next song, Burn Alive. And I like Burn Alive, but doing this transition can take away from both of them, honestly. And then Beautiful Boy. It also isn't a bad song, but in my opinion, it's like the worst song on the album. And it's a lot more simpler and kind of boring and less interesting than everything else. And I'm just not a big fan. I'm not digging like the melody and the mood of the album. And compared to songs like On Your Side that just capture my attention and just shows off the just amazing talent of the band, that just makes Beautiful Boy just not that good of a song. And then the song that I know some people will be mad at me, I was not a big fan of My Lady of Mercy, and I wanted to like it, but I can't appreciate Abigail Morris's vocals when it's overproduced and is drowning out her own voice is the big problem. I'm just not a fan of it. It doesn't work well. But just overall, the other songs aren't good. And for a new band, let alone just their first album, I think they did really good. They went above what most bands will do with their first album. That's not a dig on other bands. That's just a big compliment on what this band has done and everything that they will hopefully do. And I hope that they continue to get better and ride this momentum into newer projects. I'll be looking forward to this. But overall, I'm feeling a 6.5. It's a good debut, and it just showcased a lot of talent for the band. And yes, it does have stuff that they need to work on for it, but I'm a fan of like the folk sounds they did, it just how they blended all these sounds together super well. And it isn't like putting so much stuff together that you can't really appreciate any of them specifically, like some other albums that I've listened to recently that just put too many sounds in and try to blend too many genres, but none of them were overly great to like by themselves, but together it just made it worse. So I think they did a good job at that, and I think they have a lot of potential of it, and I'm excited to see. And just this all women band, I'm just super excited for that. Their indie sound is super cool, and they're getting a lot of praise for this album, as they should. I'm gonna go for 6.5, and I'm just eagerly awaiting this release. But in the comments, let me know what you thought of the album. I'm kind of curious how other people thought of it. Give me what your favorite song is, what you liked about it. Just give me your rating of it because I'm always curious about that. But that's about all I have for today. Bye.